Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5 and welcome to today's presentation. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you the speakers or the presenters. The first one, there is me, Karina Isnaini, and then there are my partners, Azura Rahma Putri, Bondan Satria Utomo, Erika Itzar, and Syafina Fitri Kusuma Wardani. Today, we would like to present about the Romantic period. Okay, without any further ado, let's get started. The first one is the roots of Romanticism. Romanticism grew from a profound change in the way people in the Western world perceive their place and purpose in life. Events such as the American Revolution in 1776, the French Revolution in 1789, and the Industrial Revolution restructured society and the way individuals viewed themselves and their relationship to each other and the social order. The Romantic period began roughly around 1798 and lasted until 1837. The political and economic atmosphere at the time heavily influenced this period, with many writers finding inspiration from the French Revolutions. There was a lot of social change during this period. Romanticism was a reaction against this spread of industrialism, as well as a criticism of the aristocratic social and political norms and a call for more attention to nature. Okay, the next slide will be continued by Safina.
Okay, the next is literature during the period. The first one is William Blake, one of the earliest period writers. Blake believed in spiritual and political freedom and often wrote about this theme in his work. Although some of his poetry was published before the official start to the era, Blake can be seen as one of the founders of this movement. His works, "Song of Innocence" in 1789 and "Songs of Experience" in 1794. The second one is Romantic period began with the publishing of lyrical ballads in 1798 by William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. The poetry in lyrical ballads marks a distinction change in both subject matter and style from the poetry of the 18th century. This was one of the first collections of poems that from formal poetic diction of the neoclassical period. Poets of the period instead used everyday words that the average person could understand. This also aided in expressing human emotion. And the next will be continued by my friend. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, tadinya before this page, karakteristik characteristic of romantic literature. One, medievalism. It was a way for poets to connect with the past, to explore their own sense of nostalgia, and to challenge the values of the modern world. It was also a way for them to create a sense of wonder, awe, and beauty in their poems. And two, mysticism is the belief that the physical world of nature is a revelation of a spiritual or transcendental presence in the universe, or an expression of spirituality and the imagination. Third, sensibility. The emotional sensitivity to other individuals and their circumstances, particularly those from the lower socioeconomic classes, and the supernatural evocation of terror in Gothic literature or expression of sensibility. Fourth, primitivism and individualism. Romanticism shows the primitive individual, the person who doesn't have the artificial manners of high society, the cultivated facade of the aristocracy. Okay, next by Bondan.
Okay, the next slide is the second generation of Romantic poets. Although the second generation were not born at the time of French Revolution, their poetic concerns are similar with Wordsworth and Coleridge, and several figures who play a role are John Keats. John Keats is still one of the most popular of these poets. Wordsworth and Coleridge were important influences on his poetry and ideas. He is well known for his odes. Among these odes, Ode to a Night Tale and Ode on an Graceful Urn are most famous. Ode to a Nightclub and discuss the temporary status of life and beauty. But in Ode on a Graceful Urn, he explores the artistic performance of the image on the art. And second is Percy B.C. Shelley. One of his works in is Adonis. This was a pastoral elegy, a poem combining death and rural life, written for John Keats. The poem mourns the death of Keats and his contribution to poetry. Okay, next slide is Lord Byron. Different from the writing styles of Keats and Shelley, he was heavily influenced by the satire of wit from the previous period and influenced in his poetry. His satire, Don Juan, is told in 17 chapter division along poems and is based on the traditional legend of Don Juan. Lord Byron changed the original telling of the story, and instead of creating a womanizing culture, he makes Don Juan someone easily seduced by women. And the next is Sir Walter Scott. During the Romance period, the novel grew in popularity and became one of the major sources of entertainment for middle class citizens. Authors began to tailor their writing to appeal to the audience. Sir Walter Scott gained popularity during this time, both in Britain and around Europe. He mainly wrote within the genre of historical romance and made this a valuable form of fiction for later readers. Scott also focused on his home country of Scotland, often writing about its beauty and romanticism. Okay, next slide. And the next slide will be read by Azura.
Okay, thank you, Bundan. So last I will read the conclusion. Romanticism emerged from the change in Western society due to events like the American Revolutions, French Revolutions, and Industrial Revolutions. The Romantic period, which began around 1798 and lasts until 1837, was a reaction against the industrialism, aristocratic norms, and a call for more attention to nature. William Blake, an early Romantic period writer, believed in spiritual and political freedom. Lyrical ballads published by William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge mark a departure from the neoclassical period, using everyday language to express human emotion. Romantic literature featured themes such as medievalism, mysticism, sensibility, and primitivism, and the second generation of Romantic poets, including John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and Lord Byron, also influenced their writing styles. Keats is known for his odes, while Shelley's pastoral elegy, Adonais, and Byron's satire, Don Juan, are notable works. The movement's influence can be seen in the works of William Blake, John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and Lord Byron. So that's all. That's all from us, Group 5. We are apologize if there are any mistakes in our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. That's all from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.